Hello friends, I am Catherine and today we are going to be sculpting a Sprout bookmark. It's going to be kind of awesome, I know, you're super excited. We are going to be using a single color. This is a green that leans toward the yellow a little bit. I ran out of yellow or I would have made it even more yellow, but this is an okay level of green, that's fine. We are also going to be using a toothpick for sculpting. We're going to be using a bit of wire and some wire cutters. So the first thing that I think we're going to do is decide how far we want our sprout to stick into our book. It's going to be a bookmark. It doesn't have to stick very far, but I think like that far is a good length. Like that far. Like the length of the toothpick. You could just use a toothpick. I'm going to be using wire. You use whatever you like. So I'll cut that bit of wire off and throw that aside for now. Then what I will do is take a section of this ball of green. I think I'll start off with half and see where that gets me, and just kind of roll it out into a lumpy sort of snake bit. Snake kind of thing. Go. I don't want it to be that thick, so I'm going to roll it a little bit thinner, but not as thin as I actually want it to end up being. So then what I'm going to do is just cut off the ends real quick so that it is about the length of my wire. And now previously I've tried just pressing the wire down into it. That is okay, it doesn't really work out great. And I've tried kind of flattening my roll and then wrapping it around. That works even less so. I don't really recommend it. So I think today what I'm going to try doing is something a little bit different. Oop, picked up the wire there. Didn't mean to do that. Something just a little bit different. I'm going to take my sculpting knife and run a slice down the center of my snake that I can drop the wire down into, hopefully. Which I think I will then be able to just close it around. Yes. Oh yes. That is the solution. That is what we want to do. Okay, and then I can roll it down to the thickness that I want, which is going to be quite a bit thinner than it currently is, actually. I don't think I want it quite as thick as I actually ended up making it because I didn't know how much rolling down I would end up doing. But that's all right. You can always roll it down thinner. There we go. How do we feel about that? That maybe could be a little bit thinner. And then just trim down the ends. Oop, hit the wire there. That's okay, just hit the very end of the wire. That should be all right. Let's see if I can't just press it back down over it. Just kind of round the end off a little bit, I think. And that should be good. And then trim that end. Oh, that one ended up a little bit more, but that is all right because I can roll it out a little bit more to the end, toward the end. And that covers it right back over again. Perfect. Okay, so just going to round those ends down, make sure everything's smooth and even-ish. And let me see, I want to try something. I haven't tried this before, but I'll use like a flat edge. You could use whatever you've got, if you've got a rolling pin or whatever. I'm going to use something flat and roll it between the flat thing and my work surface. Hey, that makes a much nicer and smoother roll. Awesome. Okay, let's just round back out that end again then. Now what we're going to do is make leaves, and I want it to be an asymmetrical sprout. I want one leaf to be larger than the other leaf. So what I'm going to do is take 2 balls of green and roll them into like football shapes like that. Hopefully they aren't the same size. I don't want them to be too different from one another in size. Yeah, that's pretty close. And then what I'm going to do is take and press them flat so that they end up a football-shaped flat piece. And maybe bring one end more to a point than the other end. There we go. Although both ends kind of want to come down to a point, I feel. You kind of want both ends to come to a point. And then flip it over and flatten out the other side and round it down. Okay, something sort of like a diamond shape. Perfect. Do the same thing for both sides. Flatten it out. Bring it down to a point on both ends while maintaining its flatness and keeping the edges smooth, or do a ruffled edge. You know, you could do a ruffled edge too. That might be kind of nice. Although usually sprouts, the very first leaves, don't have a lot of individual characteristics like the mature plant is going to have. Usually they're pretty much just the same from plant to plant. They are the first leaves that it's putting out just to get everything up and running. Go. All right, kind of like that. Okay, perfect. Then we will take our toothpick and put a indent down the center of our leaf. Maybe roll it out a little bit so that it curves out a little bit rather than such a sharp edge. And then maybe some like that. And then just making sure to kind of try at least to keep them mirroring each other. All right, and then the other one. Perfect. All right, and then the same thing. Leaf sort of indents on both sides. Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. You take the smaller of the two, you lift it up, and you put it right at the end and wrap it around, and then smooth it down so that it joins the stem that will go into your book. Wrap it around. Perfect. And then the larger of the two, peel up and put to the opposite side. Up a little bit higher, and it will curve out a little bit further, but come down across the stem as well. And sort of curve in like that. There we go. Okay. Now I can't roll it on the surface anymore, but that gives us a Sprout bookmark. I'm going to bake it according to the instructions on the clay that I've got. I happen to be using Sculpey, but pretty much any oven-baked clay would work great for this. So I'm going to bake it to instructions, and then I will be able to put it in a book. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know. I love to hear from you. If you want to see more things like this, tell me that too. I put up new videos every day, so remember to subscribe because there is always something new to see, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!